Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading session. I don't know about you, but this daylight savings time stuff, it's a little hard. Okay, so we just got the market open here. Okay, hold on a second here. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Okay, sorry about that. It looks like the market a little bit off to a soft start here. You can see where trading left off on Friday and where it resumed today. So we're pretty much taking over from where we left off. And that's not always the case on a Monday. But I do believe, let me just check the reports calendar here. I do believe that we're waiting on some FOMC minutes this week that are probably going to bog the market down a little bit. Yes, looks like this Wednesday we got a whole assortment of important meetings and announcements. So don't be too surprised if the market tends to drift a little bit sideways. Announcements after a sideways market usually lead to a little bit of a correction, in my experience. Not always, but very often we will see the market try to pull back a little bit on itself. In the meantime, we'll just give them a few minutes here to try to get their bearings today. And so far, well, we did get a number one here on the Raptor. Our cloud crossover signal formed just prior to the market open. And it was a solid signal, practically a textbook signal, really. The clouds crossed over. Prices retreated into the cloud and came back out of the cloud producing a signal. That's a very, very strong looking cloud crossover signal. So if you were watching the pre-market here on the Hawk scalper, we got our first micro-macro cross signal just a few seconds or about a minute into the session. And here on the Eagle, I suppose this would be our first in-sync signal, came right on the open. So overall, the market looking a little bit more bullish here at the moment. A reminder that this week is a short week, for me anyways. We've got today's session and tomorrow's session, and then I'm going to be out of town for a couple of weeks, taking a little bit of a break. I purposely go to a place with a crappy internet connection so nobody can bother me too much. Well, there they go, they're inching higher. Looks like both signals or all three signals would have met their profit objective. Well, let me double check here the Eagle. I'm not sure the Eagle has found its profit target just yet. No, almost halfway there, or a little better than halfway there. I have rolled into the June contract for the stock indices now. You could still trade March if you like. It's not so problematic when we're day trading. If you're position trading, you need to pay a little bit more attention to your dates. It used to be a lot easier when the broker actually sent you an economic calendar. You would have a calendar on your desk and oh, my soybean contract is about to expire. I'd better do something about that. Alright, so here we are just shy of 5,400. That's very close to Friday's highs, where the market topped out on Friday. $53.99 was the high. And we're just a few ticks short of that. NASDAQ, just amazing, the buying that's going on. Well, not really much to focus on here at the moment. Gold also just dead flat. Crude oil a little bit more bullish compared to what it has been. Crude oil, of course, in a monster slide lower. I should have shown this on the Eagle. But, you know, it's just been in a huge downtrend. We're producing a little bit of a trend change signal here now on the Falcon. I do think you need to be cautious about your bullishness in crude right now. Alright, what I'm suspecting we might see is a number 2 signal, a soft edge sell here in the Raptor. This Falcon may come back with a trend change signal. Or if you were inclined, you could use this double dot because we are so close to yesterday's highs, Friday's highs. I don't normally do double dot signals unless I can tie them into something in the history of the chart. They are pure counter trend signals, and the nice thing about the counter trend signal is you know where to cover the trade, right? It's very obvious, cover the trade above the high. So it's, you know definitely where you're wrong. You can see it's not a huge risk amount that we're doing here. And I purposely do counter trend trades just with a single contract. So let's see here. They'll give me a second chance on that one. So this is now the double dot signal. So we had a couple of dots. The second dot got absorbed. No, they're fighting it back. Anytime you take a counter trend signal, you need to be wary. I don't know, for whatever reason it is, counter trend signals always seem to suit a trader's eye better than trend signals. I suppose that's why so many of us end up taking them, very often to our hurt. Come on down. You don't want to be too quick with the stop either, because these double dot signals, they will eventually develop into a trend change signal, just like you see down here. So here's the double dot signal, here's the trend change signal. This pullback through here was minimal, but sometimes this pullback can be a little bit more pronounced. So if you're really, really quick with your stops, you could get stopped out during that pullback phase. Now, I am running an all-in, all-out profit target, but if you think there's more to it, then be prepared for that trend change signal and try to hang in there. Next target after the median line would be down here at the 53.80 3/4, essentially 53.80, 53.81. And it looks like the market found some support there in the past, which is probably why the primary support line printed there. Come on. Gotta take out the low of this bar right here. And my goodness, the market is a little bit on the sluggish side this morning. So if we can see a trade below 53.90, we should be in good shape. Come on, there you go. You can do it. Get down there. Oh, flinched again at 91. Here we go. We'll just give it a little nudge in the right direction. Just pull it down a little bit, and there we go. 91, 91 quarter, 91 half. There we go, 91 quarter, 91, let's see, 90 and 3/4. Oh, just keeps bouncing on 91. There we go. Oh, 91, 90. Oh, almost. I almost thought they were going to tip over there. It tagged 90 and 3/4 for a second, and I almost thought we were going to see the market tumble. Getting a lot of overlap right now. You know, the market kind of just drifting sideways. Here's that macro pullback signal. Now working a possible number 2 signal, our soft edge sell on the Raptor. We're not there yet, but we do have a trend. Here's our dip lower, our pullback. We would be looking for a retest and a failure, and then followed by a sell signal. But as I said, the market might be a little non-committal today and tomorrow. The buyers digging in. They're really holding this 53.90 area, 53.91. Got ourselves a very tight little sideways range here at the moment. Excuse me. So like I say, a real tug of war going on here right now. Just when you think that they're going to fold over, look at that hold. 53.90, 53.91. Make a note of that number. That's going to be an important number for Tuesday's trading, maybe even into Wednesday. Come on. Well, you see this little candle right here, this little bar with this little wick to it? I'm considering rolling my stop in above there if we don't see the lows give way here. Get away. You wouldn't think it would be that much to ask. Just 20 ticks, just 20 measly ticks. Here come the sellers again. All right, this looks like it might be the last ditch effort. having to nurse this one, aren't we? Come on. Here we go. This breakout could actually lead to a bigger move if we finally get it. Here we go. There's it tagged 89.75. Okay, finally we saw 89.5. So there's a good chance we're going to inch our way lower here now. I thought we were going to hold on 83 or 89.75 again. Come on. All right, we're almost to the break-even trigger here. I'm debating forcing the trade to break even, but I've waited this long. I think I could roll it in above the 53.94 area. The better, the best stop still the original where it was at. Ay, 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 they're just not giving an inch. Here we go. Okay. I think we're just about home free. I don't want to jinx myself. My goodness. Come on. They want to. There we go. Come on. Oh my gosh. Just hovering by the break even. Man. Okay, no problem, Daniel. There's not much going on, so I'm glad you actually asked a question. This is on the Falcon. This was a double dot signal. The second dot actually got absorbed by the triangle. The double dot signal is our counter trend signal in the Falcon. Now, before you get all excited about taking all kinds of counter trend signals, see, here's a double dot signal that was a very clean double dot signal. The double dot signal occurs, or it begins to build near the end of the trend. You're going to see buy signals with, in this case, bearish market conditions. Here we had sell signals in a bullish market condition. We've got a bullish band, we've got a bullish filter. The double dot signal relies a lot on price history. So what I mean to say is, before I look at taking a counter trend signal, a blatantly counter trend signal on the Falcon, I want to be able to look back here and actually tie it in with something in the history of the chart, and ideally the recent history. I don't want to have to go back 4 or 5 days. Ideally, I want to even see something within the current session. So let's say, just as an example, instead of bottoming out right here, this leg of the market actually came down here and reacted. So now we're getting a double dot signal. And I could look back in the chart and I could say, oh, well, the last time the market traded down to this level, this was the reaction. Therefore, maybe I will try to get in there a little early and I'll try to do a counter trend trade. Now, because it's counter trend, I typically will only take a single contract. Because counter trend trades, even though, in hindsight they look easy, in actual fact, they're not easy, because what happens is the market can bring you in, and then somewhere through here it's going to retest, right? It's going to test the extreme. Sometimes it will test out just a little bit deeper before actually reversing and heading higher. All right, so the counter trend, by its very nature, is a less desirable trade to take. But if you can tie the signal in with something in the history of the chart, you can say, oh, that was a good reaction. There was obviously a lot of buying going on there. Maybe I'll try it again. Very often it can lead to at least your profit objective. Now, this morning's trade, the market is up here around the 50, topped out at 53.96. I pointed out that 5,400, or technically 53.99, was Friday's high. And if we go back here to Friday's high, you can see the market made a very strong reaction lower as a result of hitting that, we're going to call it 5,400, which really is what it is. Even though it topped at 53.99, it's essentially a reaction to 5,400. So here we are Monday morning, and the market wiggles its way up to 53.96. We're getting back into that whole neighborhood again, right? At 53.99, 5,400. The market is obviously experiencing some sort of sensitivity, and we produce a double dot signal. So I decided to try it. Let's see if we get a little bit of a reaction there. And I went in just with a single. I went in with a profit target, even though very often you can see these double dot signals result in a nice new trend. I'm not going to be greedy on this trade. I've already pointed out there's a big FOMC meeting on Wednesday, and so the markets are probably going to be a little bit on the sluggish side for the next couple of days. But you can see we came down, we found our profit objective. Now we're getting a little bit of a reaction, and this is going to turn now into our trend change signal, just like down here, where the double dot signal, the early counter trend signal, will eventually develop into a with trend signal, providing, of course, the market conditions are right. Now my stop would already be here at break even. So I may as well take my profit while I have it. If I were going to try to run this one out, well, ideally my stop would still be up here at 53.97 quarter, or perhaps here above 53.94. This is where the market started to decline the last time. But as I said, it's counter trend. Very often you're better off just taking your profit when you have it. Don't try to get too cute with a counter trend trade. One time in 100, the market will explode and you'll look like a rock star. The other 99 times, the market will explode and you'll just get caught in the blast. So, thanks, Tony. Tony says, well done, Eric. Good for you. I stopped out earlier, starting the day with a negative. Tony says, boo. It's going to be tough. It really is going to be tough trading the next couple of days. You can tell the market's already very, very sluggish. Like the session's been open about 45 minutes already, and what have we done? Look at the opening range. I got the initial balance lines highlighting the opening range for me, but what tiny opening range the market, and look at where we're at. We're just trading, retracing our steps over and over. If we were looking at a time-based or a tick-based chart, there would be a lot of doji type bars going on here. A lot of overlapping bars. Now the buyers are coming to take their kick at the cat, producing a number 3 signal. That's our hard edge bounce. My concern is that this may turn into a test of the extreme. This number 3 signal has, it has some logistical problems to it. So let's say we set up the trade this way. Here's our profit target. Here's our high of the morning. We have already seen there's some sort of sensitivity on the market as it approaches Friday's highs. Does that mean it can't break Friday's highs? No, of course not. But we do have a definite hurdle here at 53.96. Therefore, maybe I need to adjust my profit objective. Maybe I need to run a tighter stop. Good morning, Christian. Don't you do daylight savings time in Austria? Christian's writing, good morning, Eric. I missed the first hour. What was the reason to start Monday morning session an hour earlier? Well, it wasn't my idea. You can blame Kaiser Wilhelm. Way back in World War I, he thought it was a good idea to roll the clocks ahead an hour earlier in the springtime. So it's daylight savings time here in North America. So you're going to see a lot of disheveled people at the coffee shop ordering an extra shot of espresso in their coffees this morning. For the next week or so. Yeah, see, in Europe, you guys are civilized. Ours used to be 3 weeks later. Christian says, in Europe, we have daylight savings time 3 weeks later. Ours always used to be toward the end of March, too. And some wise guy decided, hey, let's call it double daylight savings time, and we'll do it in the middle of March instead of the end of March. Boy, I'd like to get my hands on that fellow. I guess in Arizona, they don't do daylight savings time. I know in Saskatchewan, they don't do daylight savings time. Saskatchewan, a farming province, primarily a farming province here in Canada, so cows don't really care whether the clock says 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. They still got to get milked at the same time. And the farmers don't care whether the clock says 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, they're out at the break of dawn anyway. I would not have been a good farmer. I used to be a morning person. Yeah, Tony says, is cocktail time the same in Moose Jaw? Well, it's like that song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So here we are. We're still really, really balanced this morning. Yeah, there you go. Christian's got the right idea. Might be a little bit early still, but Christian says if you drink enough beer, time's not relevant anymore. That is true. All right. Well, look at how we're leaning all kinds of different directions here. We do have a green bar sell here on the Hawk, suggesting maybe prices are going to head lower. Working a possible trend change here in the Falcon, although it is spoiling a little bit with this trend line shifting. We do have a hard edge bounce here in the Raptor, which is struggling, and the Eagle also still bullish. So a mixed bag of signals right now. I think I do favor the short side a little bit, but that's kind of just my gut. It doesn't really mean the market's going to go lower. My gut is wrong a lot, so I won't get too excited about that. All right, well, they're still waffling here. I don't know, I thought maybe it was going to get a little bit more bearish, but the buyers are still holding in here. The Geiger counter was just rolled here over hard to the buy side. Yeah, here they come again. They're holding. We're just hovering around this 53.91 area again. We did dip as low as 53.89. That's kind of where we're settling right now. Or not. So this green bar sell had a little follow through to it. This is a very loose late filter entry signal. It did get spoiled. Technically, it is not a late filter entry signal. It did get spoiled here for a couple of bars. Prices traded maybe a tick too high. That was enough to flip the bar or the trend line color over. Oh, darn it. I was just about to hop on this soft edge sell signal. Oh, look at that. Looks like we're going to get a second push opportunity. Wow. See the buyers coming back really, really hard. First micro macro cross now here. Back into the hard edge. It's so much easier to trade when all your tools are lining up in the same direction. Unlike this morning. Well, all right, well, we have comparable signals. We're working a possible first micro macro cross lower here on the hawk. We have a soft edge sell signal here on the falcon. I don't think I want to go in. Not for the full amount, not the way the market is behaving this morning. come with yet another hard edge bounce. Worse than senseless things. Come on. Well, I'm really wondering whether this number 3 signal is going to get some follow through now, or whether the market will fold in on itself. I suppose we could do an OCO order, bracket a buy above and sell below. If we could get away from this 53, 90, 91 area that has the market boxed in, I suppose technically it's the primary resistance line at around 53.93 and the median line at 53.87 that really has the market contained here. All right, there they go. They're going to give it a push up. Maybe. Market is very balanced this morning. Oh wow. what a stuck market. And our hawk producing all kinds of yellow bars here, telling us that, hey, we're in scalp mode. And sure enough, Trade Forecaster says we are in scalp mode for about another 15 minutes, and then we may actually see the market commit to a direction. We'll see. Oh, here we go. We got a hard edge buy signal, kind of confirming the earlier hard edge buy. So now we might see the buyers take their turn. And And I think they slipped us a pick on that one too. Come on. You can do it. Get up there. It's like trading in slow motion. Well, that's good to know. Thomas says the dome shows no liquidity on the downside. It's all upside. I hope you're right. Come on, get going. Didn't you guys hear? Thomas said all the liquidity is upside. Absolutely, Daniel. Daniel's asking, could you explain something about your partnership with Shark? Shark indicators, yeah, many of you probably got an email about Shark indicators and Bloodhound. You might be familiar with that program as well. We've been invited to do a presentation for Shark indicators, and unfortunately, we got our dates mixed up. I thought the presentation was tomorrow. It's actually today, this afternoon after the market closes. Adam is going to solo on the presentation, so he'll be reviewing the support and resistance suite, the support and resistance lines, the trade forecaster, a couple of the tools for the people at Shark Indicators. Yeah, way to go, Clayton. Clayton says, wow, I ate, got my coffee, and I'm still long the number 3 trade from this morning. It's that kind of day. It's the kind of day that's going to demand patience and some very liberal stops. The high of the morning is going to be a real obstacle. I should maybe consider a scalping target instead. There we go. We'll make it a little bit easier. There we go. There's certainly room for the market to move, but like I said, this FOMC meeting that is scheduled for Wednesday is going to throw a wrench into the next couple of days here. Gold also, gold and crude just very, very sideways this morning. Nothing really wants to move. Everything is kind of stuck in the mud. If we can get above, if we can see this bar close, or at least get above this 53.92 area, I think we might see the buyers try to rally it a little bit. That would give this bar a little bit of a tail, which is what we tend to see on the more bullish bars. A little bit of follow through after. They are being stubborn. Maybe we just need to give it a little bit of a push. Get it over 53.92. Come on, get up there. That's it. Let's go. Hard work. Come on, get going. Don't stop. Hey, come on. Well, that wick is on the wrong side of the bar. Come on, buyers. If you're serious, you got to get some traction going here. Well, it's not exactly an exciting session. Yeah. Clayton says, I think we have a Mickey Mouse, not a Mighty Mouse. Christian, I don't have the link for the presentation with me, but let me send you Adam's email. And if anybody is interested in the Shark Indicators presentation this afternoon, please just send Adam an email, and I'm sure he will send you the sign-up information. Aye. Well, here they come again. All right. So now it's decision time. Is it time to start rolling the stops? Was this the best effort that the buyers could make? Yeah, they're not liking the highs today at all. Maybe we'll see the buyers come back here one more time. Wow, what a tug of war this one is. Last chance now, I would think. They're trying. All right, well, this is looking now like it will be the last effort for the buyers. If we can get a bullish bar to close here, then I will be rolling my stops in, I think. Come on, get up there. All right, guys. I think we're going to close up shop here this morning. If you are going to continue trading, well, the market is very, very balanced. In fact, you may want to look for a breakout above 53.93 quarter as a buy opportunity, a breakout below the lows here as a sell. But I suspect the market's just going to drift sideways. We are in a bit of a trading range here today. And I'm hoping that we're going to see a little bit of a rally here, at least enough for me to perhaps get the trade to break even rather than get stopped out for a loss. All right, we'll try it again tomorrow. Hopefully things will be a little bit more active for us then, but somehow I doubt it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.